Good morning, friends. Well, today we'll be having a discussion on the topic solids. In my previous video, which you might have seen, I have given some hints and tricks related to NEAT and CET of solids. That video seems to be quite heavy for you all because you don't have any idea regarding the solids. That video I had prepared for your seniors in order to prepare them for the CET during their vacation. If you want to visit such more videos, you can go to my YouTube channel, Javed Moody. Go to YouTube, just type Javed Moody. You'll be getting different what we call videos related to CET and NEAT over there. Now, with respect to the Google class is concerned, we are going to start with the topic solids that is meant for your annual examination, exclusively for your annual examination. Now, this topic solids, it is a very important topic as well as the marks are concerned. You can get 7 marks in your annual examination. One question will be in part B for 2 marks and one question in part D first main. Okay, that will be for 5 marks. That 5-mark question may be of the type 3 plus 2 or it may be of the type 4 plus 1. As we proceed through the topic, I'll be telling you the areas which are very important for your annual examination. So you need to follow it thoroughly and properly. The same can be considered as my notes also. So again, I mostly believe in understanding the things rather than writing it down. So please understand it very well. Now move ahead with solids. So first we need to have a classification of solids. So the solids are broadly classified into 2 categories or 2 types. One, it is called as crystalline solid and the other it is called as amorphous solid. So basically in your laboratory you have understood about the crystalline and amorphous compounds. Those which are rough to touch, you called it as crystalline, and those which were soft like talcum powder, you called them as amorphous. So what are these crystalline and what are these amorphous solids? It is based on the nature of arrangement of constituent particles in them. If the constituent particles are regularly arranged in a particular pattern and geometry, it is called as a crystalline solids. And if the constituent particles are irregularly arranged, they don't have a particular pattern of arrangement or geometry of arrangement, you call them as amorphous solids or pseudo solids. Remember the term pseudo solids. They are also called as super cooled liquids. Pseudo solids antanu karitare, super cooled liquids antanu karitare. Yadakke amorphous solids ige. Why? Because the amorphous solids have got the ability to flow. ಇಲ್ಲಿ diagram ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು, in case of the area where I'm moving over here, crystalline solids, they have got a regular arrangement, and amorphous solids, they have got an irregular arrangement. Got it? Now let's proceed further. The differences between crystalline and amorphous solids, a very important question that can be asked for 2 marks in your annual examination. So write any 2 differences or write the differences or distinguish or differentiate between crystalline and amorphous solids. So what are crystalline solids? Here the constituent particles are regularly arranged. In case of amorphous solids, the constituent particles are less orderly or irregularly arranged. Crystalline solids have got a definite geometric shape, whereas amorphous solids, they do not have a definite geometric shape. Crystalline solids have got a sharp melting point, pinpoint. For example, the melting point of a crystalline solids is 100 degrees Celsius anta assume ಮಾಡೋಣ. It is 100 only. It cannot be 101, it cannot be 99. Exactly 100 degrees Celsius ಗೆ complete solid ಏನಿದೆ melt ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Whereas amorphous solids, they melt at a range of temperatures. They do not have a sharp melting point. For example, a compound A has got a melting point from 98 to 100. ಅಂದ್ರೇನು 98 ಇಂದ melting start ಆಗ್ತದೆ, 100 ತನಕ ಅದು ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. It is not melting exactly at one point. It is melting in a range, so they don't have a sharp melting point. Crystalline solids are anisotropic, whereas amorphous solids are isotropic. Then tropicity ide, tropic nature ide, that relates to any kind of a vector quantity that is measured in one particular direction. Simple example kodabeku antandre refractive index. Crystalline solids have got different refractive indices at different direction. Andre properties change with direction in case of crystalline solids and properties remain same in case of amorphous solids. How do you differentiate between a quartz glass, which is an amorphous solids, and a diamond, which is a crystalline solid? Diamond anna rotate ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಲರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ, whereas glass anna rotate ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ you get a single colored monochromatic light, indicating that the refractive index of the light is same. Got an idea? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ observe ಮಾಡಬಹುದು diagram ಅಲ್ಲಿ. See, A to B it is isotropic, C to D it is anisotropic. ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಒಂದು ಡಾಟ್, ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಒಂದು ಡಾಟ್, ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಒಂದು ಡಾಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ, that shows there is a variation or change. It is anisotropic. A to B observe ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, all are blue dots only. It is isotropic. So A to B, C to D ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. So this is the diagram of anisotropic nature, and this is a solid representing a crystalline solids. Solids diagrams ಅನ್ನ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ CET ಮತ್ತೆ NEET ಅಲ್ಲಿ diagrams ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. Moving ahead. Now, classification of crystalline solids. How are these crystalline solids classified? The crystalline solids are classified into molecular solids, ionic solids, covalent solids, and metallic solids. Okay, molecular solids, covalent solids, ionic solids, and metallic solids. ಇದೇನು ನಾನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ಶಾಟ್ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಆ್ಯನ್ಯುಯಲಿಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಕಂಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಎಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎಟಮಿಕ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್: ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್, covalent solids, ionic solids, and metallic solids. Further, molecular solids are classified into what we call polar molecular solids, non-polar molecular solids, and hydrogen bonded molecular solids based on the type of interaction. ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ? How is that we classified them into molecular, covalent, ionic, and metallic? The classification was based on the nature of the constituent particle and type of attraction between the constituent particle. If the constituent particles are molecules, the solid is a molecular solid. If the constituent particles are atoms, it is covalent solid or atomic solid, also called as network solid. If the constituent particles are ions, ionic solid. If the constituent particles are metal ions, it is metallic solid. All right. So what are these ionic crystals? Nodonu. The lattice points. What are these lattice points? Future class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸದ್ಯದ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ದಿ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. lattice point are occupied by cations and anions. Ionic crystals alli what are the constituent particles antandre they are cations and anions. They are held together by what? They are held together by electrostatic attraction or ionic bond ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. They are hard, they are brittle, and they have got high melting point. Hard ಇರ್ತವೆ, ರಫ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಮೆಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಅಯಾನಿಕ್. ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್. ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪುವರ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ವಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫೇಲ್. ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಮಗೇನು ನೆನಪಿರ್ತದೆ? ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ. ಹೌದು, ಯಾವಾಗ Ions conduct electricity when they are present in aqueous condition, infused state, molten state, dissolved state. Ionic medium conducts electricity because the ions are free to move. Solid ಅಲ್ಲಿ free movement ಇರ್ತದ, ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪುವರ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ. ನೀವು ಇನ್ಸುಲೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ತಪ್ಪೇನಿಲ್ಲ. got an idea? All right. So that's why sodium chloride is an insulator. Sodium chloride solution is a conductor. ಉಪ್ಪೇನಿದೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ಸುಲೇಟರ್, ಬಟ್ ಉಪ್ಪು ನೀರೇನಿದೆ ಅದು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್. Coming round to the next one, that is covalent crystals. So in case of covalent crystals, the lattice points or the crystal is made up of atoms. They are held together by covalent bonds. They are hard and they have got a very high melting point. Diamond has got a melting point ranging about 3000. Very high melting point. Illi difference ಬರ್ತದೆ, exception ಬರ್ತದೆ. What is that exception? Diamond and graphite. Diamond is, having an insulating property with a very high melting point, all right, due to its tetrahedral three-dimensional arrangement or network arrangement antivi. Graphite, it has got a very low melting point and it is a good conductor of electricity due to layered arrangement. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಇದೆ. Due to layered arrangement, graphite is conductor. Due to network arrangement, diamond is insulator. Now coming round to molecular solids. In case of molecular solids, the lattice points are occupied by molecules. They are held together by intermolecular forces. That can be van der Waals forces of attraction. There can be dipole-dipole interaction or there can be hydrogen bonding. Van der Waals force of interaction ide antandre we call it as a non-polar molecular solid. Dipole-dipole interaction idre polar molecular solid. Hydrogen bonding idre hydrogen bonded molecular solid anteli kariತೀವಿ. So they are soft and they have got a very low melting point. Molecular solids are having very low melting point. Example ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ iodine crystals ಅನ್ನ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. Example, they are very very poor conductors of heat and electricity. They are very poor conductors of heat and electricity. Now coming around to the next one, that is metallic solids. Here the lattice points are occupied by metal atoms or ions. They are held together by metallic bond. They are soft to hard. Some metals are soft like that of the group 1 alkali metals, and some are very hard like that of transition metals. Okay, and even their melting point is low to high. Sometimes they have got a low melting point and sometimes they have got a very high melting point. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. Illen diagram nodta idira. This diagram is given by Lorentz and it is called as an electron C model. Sorry, it is called as an electron C model or electron gas model, where the positive charge represents a metal ion which is called as a kernel and the black area represents the sea of electrons. And it is this model which explains all the properties of a metal. Metals anna bang madidre they are ductile, they spread into sheets. Yake? Because they slide over. So all the properties, when some light falls on it, the electron jumps out, okay, indicating that they are lustrous. All those properties are explained by Lorentz electron C model. E concept to ನಿಮ್ಮ textbook kalilla, so let us not worry about that. Now I have got one particular chart prepared over here. ಈ chart ಅನ್ನ properly ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ, properly practice ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ CET ಆಯಿತು, ನೀಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಥವಾ ಆ್ಯನ್ಯುಯಲ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಈ ಸೆಕ್ಷನಿಂದ ಬರಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಏನದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಕ್ಯಾಟಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯನಯಾನ್ಸ್. ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿದೆ, ಆನಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆ್ಯನಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಟ್. This is just a periodic table where I have represented the different type of what we call arrangements. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ಸಿ ಪಿ ಇದೆ, ಫೇಸ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಡೈಮಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನು ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯೂಬ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಗೋನಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂಬಿಕ್ ಸಿ ಪಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಡ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೈಮಂಡ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ ಅ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಈ ಸ್ಲೈಡನ್ನು ನಾನು ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ವೆಲ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಲೆಂದಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಏನು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ 15-20 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೂ ವೆಲ್. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಏನೇ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸನ್ನು ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಅಗೇನ್. ಬಾಯ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್.